LookAtModifier3d. It's a new node in Godot 4.4. We're going to be looking at how we can set up an NPC to look at our character. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new scene. So I'm going to drag this character in, and within this we want to add the new node, which is the LookAtModifier3d. It needs a target and it needs a bone to manipulate. So we can assign the target to node 3d, and the bone, for me, it's going to be the neck. Now the other options we have is the forward axis. This is going to depend on your skeleton. The primary axis for rotation, that is how the bone is going to rotate. A thing to note is they can't be parallel. Okay, so let's go through some of the other settings. We do want angle limitation. Now, unless you're making a horror game, you probably don't want that to happen. So what we can do is we can use angle limitations. Symmetry is good, obviously, because we can set both to be the same. Now you can just reduce this until this starts to make sense. That looks okay. And now you can see that once we reach a certain point, it'll flip. Now this is where the time-based interpolation comes into play. I'm going to set that up to be like something like 0.2, and you've got some easing options. So we go left and right, and you can see now that he'll just do that at an ease, right? And then we can set the same for the up and down. Now it might be a little bit higher, something like that. And so now we can start to set up how we can make this look at the player. We'll create an area 3D and we'll add a collision shape. Okay, so we're going to need a script to control all this. Okay, now that we've got the script, we can connect the signal from the area 2D. Connect both of those signals up. We really just need to set the target node. So target node, body, get path. And we'll set active to true. We can go get tree.create tween, and we want to tween a property, which it will be on itself, and we want to tween the influence. The final value will be 1 and the duration will be the look delay. And then for the exit, we'll need to do something a little bit different. We'll create a function called endLookAtTarget. And what we can do is essentially the same thing. So we can go target node equals empty, active equals false. And in the area 3D, we can create a tween as well. So we can go get tree.create tween, and it'll be the same thing, self influence, and instead of going to 0, but what we also want to do is connect the signal finished, and it will connect it to that callable end look at target. Okay, so I'll come from the side here, and you can see that he goes back to looking straight ahead. What about the fact that he's looking at our feet? But if I go to remote, we look at the lookout modifier, there is an offset. So we can just decrease this until it's somewhere that makes sense for our game. I think 1.3, negative 1.3 looks good, and you can just have that set. And so that will always look right, which is pretty good. But yeah, that is how you set up a LookAtModifier3d.